Alright, we're back. So, what am I doing? Bike. I got a new tyre. Nice, expensive Pirelli Route. What is it, M166 or something or other? That's the tyre, that's the only tyre I could get for the thing, because they reckon cruisers have a different tyre to all the other things. They've got to be, I don't know, wider but who knows. But she's a brand spanking, look at that. Got nipples. But yeah, 320 bucks or something to get it fitted. Oh, 300 for the tyre, and then 20 bucks or something to get it fitted. It's like, damn. So, that's back. Now I've got to figure out how to put it back together. Because it's been a week or two. But what I have to figure out now is these bushes. Is where these bushes go. Because they fell out. I'm not sure where they go, but I'm pretty sure that one sits in there. I'm pretty sure that one sits in there. And there's another one that sits on the top there. And I had a look at an exploded view on diagram, and yeah, that seems to be the way to go. So I'm going to go with that, and then I'm going to put all this back together and then try and mount the wheel back in there. I think Darian's coming later and we'll have a go at that. The other thing is this side piece, the chrome piece, was always missing a bolt because one had snapped off. So it was only pivoting on the front one. So I tried to drill it out, which I did, or not drill it out, but I drilled it, put an easy out into. I think I'll use a 4.5. Anyway, I put the easy out in and the fucker snapped. Yep, I snapped an easy out. As you can see, gone. So obviously these aren't hardened. These are just standard mold steel, because I was only leaving it on this bar here when I went. And now I've snapped the fucking easy out inside the bloody, what's the name? And I've tried to drill it out for the last couple of days. None of my drill bits will work. They're all shit. They just don't, these cheapies don't do. It says steel, but it says somewhere steel. Rolled, forged and ground shank. You'd think, oh yeah, that should be, no. Shit. So yesterday, while I was doing one of my runs, I picked up a another 4.5mm cobalt steel heavy duty drill bit, which is right here. Rango cobalt drill bit, 4.5, and it does, as it says there, hard metal. Hard metal. There's a picture of an I-beam. Hard metal. So I'm hoping that will actually drill it out. That was like $10.50 just for the one bit. And that whole kit cost me that kit there cost me 20 bucks. That was $10.50 just for that one. I thought 4.5 should be big enough. But yeah, so I've got to now drill out that. I think I've got another bolt. There's the bolts that came out of it. So yeah, so I've got to fix that as well while I'm here doing this. So that is now ugget on. So let's see how we go with this wheel. All right, we got the wheel on. Not the easiest thing when you're single, well, you know, alone by yourself. But basically I've got the old bar here and just fucking put it in and lift it up, and then kind of handled it against my chest and bring it up, because you had to watch out for the brake cylinder actually falling off, which I still had a tape on it, so that's fine. Though I realised that should have been, I should have polished that while it was out, but I didn't. Oh well, all that's kind of clean out, so that looks good. Those two spaces, the big double one, I think that's to keep this out from there at a certain distance, and then the other one just sits in there and keeps this. There you go. See, that keeps it just out of reach of the thing, because the sprocket keeps it that. So kind of. So I think that sets fine. Now I'll set them both to number 2. That way I can tighten it if I want, but more likely, because it's a new chain, it's going to grow out as I do it. So number 2, I'm going to set that out, which I have, and then that should be fine. So I'm just about to snap up all these bolts, get that, put the speedo cable in, and then put this brake on, and that's going to be a right pain because that's seized-ish, and yeah. But the nut's on, the split pin's in, so that's not going to go anywhere. I just got to tighten that once I get all this together. I suppose I could take that off. Maybe, maybe not. Just so it's in. All that's on. That's in. So it was that. Oops. That. And the speedo cable. It was the only thing off this side, pretty sure. If you're doing it by yourself, do remember to put your the brake line above the axle when you put it in, otherwise it's stuck down here and then you got to bend it, and you don't know if it's going to like that. So try and put the brake line above your axle when you put your wheel in. But other than that, she's a big chunky wheel. She's fits well. So all right, so let's tighten all this up and see how we go, and then we can start putting the chain through it. All right, I think most of it's back together. Where's the... where's the... Damn it. All right, so there's the new link. I had to take out exactly one linky. Where are we? One linky and one elbow. There we go. One link and one elbow, which is exactly what I took off the trike and ended up with 6 inches of fucking extra. But here it kind of worked out. Yeah, so chain is on, and there's a little bit of slackness, but we got to get it off here and on the ground to actually, before I can actually say it's done. And then I can tighten up the bolt, because I've still got that bolt for the axle, this main bolt axle. But I've got the guard on. I'll put that back on because I took it off and really didn't need to. Got that back on, and it looks absolutely horrible because I'm having greasy freaking hands all over it. But it's all back together. It's all back together. Chain's on, all that's on. It wasn't really hard. That chain was an absolute pain in the arse though, because, you know, cut this or grind this one off to get the pins out of it, and the pin, I don't know, there's another pin around here somewhere. Get the pins out of it and get it pulled out, and then when I'm trying to put the new one on, I'm squeezing, where is it, this bit off the new one to try and get back over the pins on the thing. End up pushing one of the pins out the back, so we had to fumble around and get a vise and all that to try and push the pin back in so it's level on the back. So these are the stone, because when you put this on, it doesn't just slip over. It doesn't slip over. It's hard up against it. What you got to do is, with the kit, you've got to crush this on like a press fit. You got to press fit this on enough that then you can get the other adjuster, other thingo, and flare these out like rivet. So you got to flare them out, but you got to get this plate on enough that you can do that, and this doesn't just slip on. It's exactly the same size. So this is a press fit, which is an absolute pain in the ass. That took us ages. But in saying that, it's back together. So now that I've bolted everything, I've still got to do this, that. I'll have a go at that now, and then we'll see. But then if I get that out or I don't, I can at least put that back on. And then the bike's back to where it was, and I'll take it off here, put it on the ground at least with the wheels up, and then I can adjust the chain while it's on the ground, while there's weight on it, because it's the Vulcan effect. You got to blah blah blah. So other than that, that's pretty much it. And it's Sunday, and it's what, 5 o'clock, quarter to 6, and I got here at 3. It's a freaking But it's kind of like, it's all back together. I mean, it's not that hard. It's just fiddly sometimes, like when you have these things fuck up when they shouldn't really do that. And the wheel not coming on, probably because where those spaces are, and then the brakes. I've still got to figure out the brake, because that's a bit, that is stiff. That is stiff as. It shouldn't be that stiff. So I might have to adjust this brake a bit, unscrew it so it's not as tight. But yeah, all right, so give us another few minutes and we'll, Darian's here now, so he's going to give us a hand, and we might be able to pull this down and actually see what we can do, hopefully. All right, let's see. All right, last quick video. So the bike is back together, chain, we adjusted. Now we just got to get down the floor and just see. All that was done. The only problem is that this bolt here, it was missing it, or it snapped off. I put an easy out snapped. So we tried to get the easy out in. Oh, wasn't that a pain? We ended up trying to weld it. So I decided to weld a nut in there. That didn't work. So then we decided to get a washer on it, and then a bigger nut, and weld it in there. That didn't work. I bought a carbon steel drill bit, and eventually we kind of got in there and drilled it out, and the last little bit of it fell out. As you can see, the last little bit of the easy out, after we drilled it nearly all the way through, and then it finally came loose, and we just reamed the hole, and then I've got a tap and die, and I thought that bolt, when I was measuring it, was an 11, an M11. I thought, oh yeah, cool, okay, so I tapped this out to an M11, and then I found another bolt, which is this one, which is an M11, and you're going too far and it pops. So obviously it's not M11, it's an M10.5, and the M11 doesn't fucking fit. But it gets a certain point and then it just goes clunk and just jumps the threads. So I'll just super glue the fucker in there, because that'll stop. At least there's something in there to stop that moving. So that's kind of super glued to stop it from turning anymore, moving. I've got a Loctite it, but it's the same thread. It screws in, it just gets to a point where it just goes pop and keeps turning. So obviously the hole, although it's an M11, these bolts aren't M11. So they're 10.5 or something like that, I don't know. But either way, the bike is back together. I'm just about to drop it off. We've welded everything up. We've broke bloody spanners and sockets and shit. All I do is the final adjustment. And I mean, that's pretty good, although I just got to get it underneath. I think it's a bit tight, but everyone says, no, that's fine. So it is done. So let's get it off here and get it outside and see. All right, it's washed, it's clean. Everything's kind of where it should be. I've taken it for a run. Although the tyre's new and a bit greasy, it's all right. But now it was clean. Everything's where it's supposed to be. I mean, that seat is still shit. Oh, you're an arsehole. So it can't work while here. But at least now it's clean, tidy. All the handprints and grease is now all off. I haven't buffed it or anything, cleaned it, but there you go. Finally, it is done. Yeah, got to polish it. But at least that's all clean now. Because in here it gets dusty as. So I'm happy. It's back on the road. New back wheel, new chain, front sprocket, rear sprocket. All that's been adjusted, and that bolt finally to hold that rear piece in there. This little jigger here. No, it's not the right bolt. Count that one's, yeah, but it'll do because they're wrong anyway. So unless someone's wrecking one and has all the bolts they can send me, the proper bolts, that will do. I'm happy with that. It's all back together. So that's it. I don't know what I'm going to do next. I don't know. I'll figure something out. You'll see. Anyway, click like, subscribe, all the other stuff, and we'll see how we go with the next project on Dodgy's Garage. All right.